Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean Smith. And the Predators, just a few minutes ago, before I recorded this, managed to pull off a very interesting situation against the Anaheim Ducks. Of course, I'm talking about a victory, but let's look at how that victory happened. Predators were up 4-2. I know that sounds like they had a big lead, but going into the last few minutes of the third, as Charlie's already told you, the Ducks were able to score two big goals, tie it up, and send the game into overtime. But I'm not so worried about that as much. I really want to talk more about the way things ended and how things came together, because what you're seeing, and let's be realistic, there is an absence on the team right now of the big time leaders. And I'm aware that Roman Yossi's on the ice. I know Matt Duchene is on the ice. But you're missing Philip Forsberg, you're missing Ryan Johansson, and of course you're missing a lot of other guys who've recently been traded away. But look who's stepping up. And I want to say, look, 2 goals on the night to Tommy Novak, including the game-winning overtime goal coming on a nice dish from Philip Tomasino. And these are the young guys that I think, if you look back, and you look back at when Poyle said that they were going to do the youth movement, it didn't happen, and this was the thing that people were really excited about. They got taken away from them before they ever had it. And then when you saw a lot of younger guys kind of on the roster at the beginning of the season and then get sent back to Milwaukee, this is the youth movement I think that people have been waiting for. And this is a youth movement I think that's worth getting excited about. So I don't want to spend so much time every time we get together like this talking about how, look, you wanted a rebuild, you wanted a reset, this is what a reset looks like, because I don't feel like I need to talk to you that way, Renegades, but I think it's important that you look at the facts here. You've got young guys that have been clamoring for a roster spot, and they finally have it through a series of trades, injuries, and just other events that have led to a bunch of open spots on the Preds roster. But these guys are making their point to stick around. Tommy Novak, already 11 goals, 12 goals this season, something crazy like that. 2 tonight, 8 goals and 8 assists since the middle of February. This kid's on fire. And the thing is, we've barely gotten a chance to see Novak because he started last season with the Predators, ended up on the COVID list, which was way after there was a lot of that happening in the NHL. And then coming off of the COVID list, sent back down to Milwaukee, seemingly never to be heard from again until he comes up in the wake of Tolvanen being waived and claimed by Seattle, and Michael McCarron entering the Players Assistance Program. Novak comes in and starts kind of slow, but then builds to this wave of scoring you see right now. And a lot of that comes because he's playing with a lot of his former line mates in Milwaukee, and there's also room at the top of the roster. And this guy's not only signed a new contract for next year at a great price, but he's kind of showing everybody why the Preds are getting good value out of him too. So I think it's really exciting. You're getting to see Igor Afanasyev. You're getting to see Luke Evangelista. You're getting to see Philip Tomasino. You get to see Cody Glass. You get to see Tommy Novak. You get to see a lot of guys that you've been waiting to see. And you've seen them in flashes. You've seen them in spurts. And it's always been because someone's injured or something happens and they get called in. But these guys aren't being just called in to fill a hole. They're being called in to play the role, and they're playing the role exceptionally well. The long road trip's over. The Predators are headed back to Bridgestone to take on the Red Wings on Tuesday. And I tell you what, we've been through this before. I'm not going to be the big naysayer here. It's a long road to the playoffs, and the Predators have some pretty stiff competition coming up. This road trip was an opportunity to score some points, get some points, try to make up some ground in the playoffs. Not making up a lot of ground, but it's exciting hockey, and I think that's what you have a lot of to look forward to. This isn't a team that's going to tank, and they're not going to try to get the number 1 pick overall. They're not completely tearing the team down to nothing and expecting them to be cellar dwellers for the next few years. Nobody wants that. Yes, it's exciting to see a few high draft picks and a few young players, but the Predators just played the Ducks, and quite frankly, it was really cool to see the young guys on that team do well too, but there's also a lot going on the ice that isn't anything I think anyone in Nashville wants a part of. So that's all I got, Renegades. Charlie, I'm going to send it back over to you.